We are here today with Professor Liu. Professor Liu is director of the International and Comparative Research Institute at the Beijing Normal University. He is also professor in International and Comparative Education at the Beijing Normal University. Thank you for being here and taking the time, Professor.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I made a mistake. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, our institute is now usually translated as Institute of International and Comparative Education.
Institute of International and Comparative Education.
Institute of International and Comparative Education.
Okay, standing by.
We're here today with Professor Liu. Professor Liu is director of the Institute of International and Comparative Education at the Beijing Normal University. He is also professor in International and Comparative Education at the same university. Thank you for taking the time here with us and answering some questions.
I'm glad to do that.
Thank you. We invite you here because you are expert in comparative education, higher education policies and management. So here we have some questions to ask you, and we're looking forward to your excellent answers. Thank you.
So what do you see as the key trends in higher education in the world today?
Okay, when we talk about the trends in higher education throughout the world, we may see many of them. If we list them, but the first one is internationalization. In the era of globalization, internationalization of higher education is one of the most important features of higher education reform and development, both in China and in other countries. The program, the university in the Nordic economy is also a kind of a case of internationalization of higher education. You recruit students from different countries, from every corner of the world. I think the second one is something about the quality. How to improve the quality. I mean, especially to improve the quality of the talent training of education is one of the most important things. Every country, every university want to provide world-class education for its students. The third one is something like quality, not quality, but equity. In different countries, because of the differences in development of economics and culture and others, there are some problems in equity between the different regions, between the city and between the urban areas and rural areas, between the genders, or between the different groups, especially like the minority groups. How to improve the equity to give them equal opportunities to participate in higher education is also one of the important trends throughout the world. I think this first one is something like we are now in the period of Nordic economy. In Nordic economy, it means innovation and skills are more important than before. And every country, every university, they want to create some or become world-class universities. There are many countries, they have already started their national strategies to develop or create some world-class universities. Many universities, especially in the developing countries, they want to become world-class universities. So there are many initiatives and strategies to do that. Of course, there are some other changes, like to give more autonomy to the university, and to give on the other hand, to promote we call it the accountability system, so that the society and the government can know better what the university or whole education system have achieved.
Okay.
Thank you. And just now you mentioned a lot of trends like internationalization, equity, equality, and something others, world-class university. And these are the global trends. But how about China? Are there any specialties in China?
Actually, as we are in a globalized period, we share many. Share many trends in the higher education reform and development. In China, these are also the higher education trend in China. We just published our Education 2020, that is a mid and long-term plan for education development and reform from 2010 to 2020. As in that document, it also illustrates the same trends. Internationalization to improve quality and to give more opportunities to the disadvantaged group, and to give more autonomy to the university. And of course, in different countries, because they have different situations, they meet different challenges, and they have different problems. So the specific measures may be different. The trends are the same.
Okay. Thank you. In our European Commission funded project, you already mentioned it, the universities in a knowledge economy. We are actually interested in how universities are being enrolled to produce knowledge, to produce workers for the economy. Is that something that you can recognize? Is it something that you see in your own university?
I just mentioned that in the area of knowledge economy, the roles of the university, are changing a bit. There is a more emphasis on the production of knowledge, especially the cutting-edge knowledge, the frontiers of different disciplines, and also to produce the more capable, more innovative workers or professionals. I don't know, like the workers, the word workers. But university should produce professionals rather than generally the words workers. Of course, there are some differences among different colleges and universities. When we talk about university, sometimes we mean something different. In a country, for example, in China, we have more than 2,700 colleges and universities. The colleges and universities, their missions, their functions, their roles should be different. For the leading universities, especially for the research universities, perhaps they should focus more on research, on knowledge production. Of course, I don't mean that they should forget teaching.
Yes.
They should forget education, because teaching is one of the most important functions of universities. Well, you really say that now the university have 3 different kind of functions: that's research, teaching, and service. Of course, they are, the 3 functions are interrelated. And the most important function is education, is talent training. If we forget talent training, perhaps we need to have a university. And to research, we have academies or research institutes. For service, we have of the public and private sectors. They can do perhaps more research, more services than the universities. For some universities, they can have the 3 different kind of research functions, like research, like talent training, like service. For the leading universities, perhaps they should do the advanced research to train advanced professionals and to provide professional services. And for some colleges, universities especially, if the university is not good at research, if you do not have the leading professors, perhaps you should focus on teaching, focus on the training of the innovative professionals. And of course, I don't think service is as important as the function of research and teaching, because perhaps it should be treated like a second class or lower level of functions of the universities. You cannot concentrate on that. You should, if you do service, service should be based on research and teaching. Yeah, you cannot do that separately. Especially, we must remember that we are universities, not factories, not companies.
And the idea of university, do you think it changed?
I don't think the idea of the university has a very distinct change during the past years. For many years, when we talk about university, a university is a place of teaching, of research, and service. Service, teaching, and research are all the missions, all the functions of the higher education or university.
Okay.
So my idea is that in the knowledge economy, the leading universities should take the responsibility to advance the frontiers of knowledge. Perhaps we should stress it more than before, but I don't mean that the idea of the university changed.
Yeah. I see. Thank you.
It seems that we have, in the higher education area, we have a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
But can you say that there are some positive effects of the current higher education changes?
Of course, we must first talk about the challenges. Higher education are facing with many challenges. And the first of all, I think is the knowledge economy. Compared to the agricultural economy or industrial economy, knowledge economy is quite different. The knowledge economy is based on knowledge, knowledge production, knowledge distribution, and knowledge transformation. Because of the importance of knowledge, higher education, especially the leading universities, they have the responsibility to promote, to advance the frontiers of knowledge. So it has the knowledge economy has a higher requirement or needs for the university. Of course, it also, should produce more professionals with innovative thinking, with critical thinking. Perhaps it's quite different from the past. Both from the knowledge production or the professional training, knowledge economy has some impact, upon it. I think the second one is internationalization or globalization. In the globalized world, there is a flow of the international flow of the we call the brains, of the talents. There is also a global competition among countries. They must train their students, their talents, according to we call it world standards. If you cannot meet the world standards, the world-class standards, the best standards, perhaps you will fail to prepare your talents to compete with others. With with the challenge of globalization and internationalization, now comes the trend of internationalization of higher education and also the universities, as well with the individual programs. So we have more mobility, in the faculty members, mobility of the students, and mobility of the institutions, and also more joint work, more joint degrees or double degrees or dual degrees, and now we have. I think every country, every university is involved in such a phenomenon. I think the third one is sometimes we see that there is a more serious competition between one country and another. Among different countries. After the Cold War, the world is in the period of transformation or reshaping of the world. Every country, especially the big powers, they want to have more influence or impact on the development of the world. Because in such a period, in such an era, development and development is one of the most important themes. With such a themes, there is cooperation between different countries, even cooperation between the most important superpowers. The cooperation between different countries is one of the most important means of development in every country. Of course, besides cooperation, there are some competitions. We compete with each other.
Compete for the world-class university.
Or compete for world-class university, compete for professionals, compete for everything. Of course, compete does not mean we fight against each other. Compete with our standards. So that we can do more advanced research to prepare more advanced professionals, so that we can promote, improve the quality of education. So cooperation and again competition are on the two sides of the same coin, and the two sides of development throughout the world. I think the first important one is ICT, the computer and information and computer technology.
Yes.
It has a very important impact over the development of higher education.
In what way?
Yeah.
They say also the way.
As a way of helping more and more audience to know our conversation.
Throughout, by ICT, we can organize a program with international influence. You call it UNIKE. The program UNIKE is a kind of internationalization with the aid of ICT,
like computers, emails,
and Blackboard.
Now every university is talking about MOOCs. Talking about the micro class. You call it micro course or micro class? I don't know. Everyone is talking about cross-border education, about mobility of students, and about distance education. And I think all these are related to the development and development and reform of the research of the university. All these are related to the development and requirement of ICT. Of course, ICT has it should have some more and more stronger bigger influences over the development of university. I've been talking about the changing of the idea of the university, the changing of the definition of the university, the roles of the universities, and also the role of the professors.
Yeah.
Professors in the future, you don't need a professor on campus. No, we are now only at the beginning stage of what we call informationalization.
You mentioned ICT, you mentioned internationalization. Are those aspects all aspects or features of a world-class university, or how would you define a world-class university?
And especially the Chinese perspective, what is a world-class university?
You know, for many times, many people ask the same question. I know it's the most important and the most difficult question to answer it. Perhaps you have already read the paper by Phillips, Philip Adler in Boston College. And he said, every country wants a world-class university. Every university wants to become a world-class university. But no one knows what a world-class university is.
Exactly.
Yeah, so when I look at the definitions of the world-class university, no, I'm not satisfied with all of the definitions. You know, in China, for about 7 or 8 years ago, we have a research project, the formation and development of world-class universities.
So what's the outcomes? Result?
And in 1998, the Chinese government started its world-class university building strategies. We call it the 985 project, our project 985, to build a few world-class universities in the 21st century. So we started a research project. We want to know what world-class university means and what are the indicators of the world-class university and how to evaluate them. But we failed. We know there's some features of the world-class universities, but it's very, very difficult to give a definition to that. Of course, the world-class universities should do the most advanced, we call it the edge-cutting research to promote the frontiers of knowledge. They should train the leaders of the profession. They usually have the leading professors in the world to do, so that they can do the world-class research or the most leading research, so that they can train the leaders of the world, and they have abundant funding, and they have the best equipment and technology, so that they can undertake the research. There are many features, but when we combine the features, we can have a picture of the world-class universities, but it's also very difficult to define what is a research university. Of course, I mean the difficulty perhaps comes from how we can define university. It's very difficult for us to define university.
Yes, but that's
yes. When we talk about university, in some countries it means the leading institutions in higher education. In some countries, it includes all of the institutions in the post-secondary education. The colleges and universities, they cover different categories. For different categories, for different kinds of universities. Every kind of the colleges and universities, they should be world class. We do not only need the world class research universities, we also need world class comprehensive university, perhaps only to train professionals, not to research.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things still to be defined.
We need world-class liberal arts colleges. We need world-class, institutes of technology. Every kind of colleges, universities should, be developed in world class. We should have a world class system of higher education, not only the world class universities.
Okay.
Sometimes we say that Harvard University, Oxford University, Peking University, Tsinghua University in China, they are the best leading research university in the world. But if all of the universities, all of the colleges and universities, develop into the same type, same kind, same category, it is also a disaster for the society.
Yes.
Because the society needs different kind of universities, different kind of professionals. And all those individuals, we have different features, different characters. We have different needs. We need different universities, different education.
So there's still a lot of work to be done here.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. Thank you. Professor Liu, thank you very much for taking time to talk with us today. It was a very, very interesting interview. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.